Hello, everyone. I welcome you to today's edition of Focus on African Women's Health, a program that is dedicated to promoting the health of African women at home and abroad. We share the global message of health for all and emphasize that African women must not be left behind in optimal health. In case you are joining us for the first time on this program, my name is Dr. Olayide Ogushiji of the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Western Sydney University, Sydney, Australia. Last week, we looked at the common themes that run through United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Agenda 2030 and African Union Agenda 2063, and concluded by saying that these two important policy documents provide important framework for you and I to work with in promoting the health of African women. This week, we promise that we'll be looking at the issue of domestic violence and that we'll be reporting one of the studies that was conducted among a group of West African migrant women living in Australia, that we will be considering what the experience of domestic violence mean in terms of this women's health. Intimate partner violence or domestic violence is reported in all societies. It is defined as the abuse that takes place between two people who are in intimate relationship. Both men and women perpetrate intimate partner violence. However, women are affected more, and you discover that available studies and statistics show that more women are victims of intimate partner violence than men. Intimate partner violence is associated with a number of negative health outcomes, including physical injury, gynecological problems, and negative pregnancy outcomes. African population in Australia is growing. However, their experience of intimate partner violence is understudied. It's important to know their experience in this area in order to develop adequate intervention to address this issue. In the study that I'm reporting today, we use a convenience sampling approach, and women that were 18 years and over took part in face-to-face in-depth interviews, which lasted between 60 and 90 minutes. Out of the 21 West African women who participated in the qualitative study, a total of 18 reported that they had experienced intimate partner violence. These women reported their experience through two themes, namely suffering in silence and reluctance to seek help. We will talk more about the first theme today, and next week, the second theme will feature. The women's story, themed Suffering in Silence, stemmed from their understanding that intimate partner violence is a private issue that must not be discussed in the public. These women reported their experience of financial and emotional manipulation and physical abuse. They reported that they were silenced in many occasions during family discussions and that they suffered verbal abuse. Drawing from their tradition and cultural background and the fact that many of them migrated to Australia as spouses of husbands who were permanent residents, threats of being sent back to Africa kept them silent as they suffered abuse in the hands of their intimate partners. Common accounts of the women on their husbands' threats included I brought you here, and so you don't have any rights. To me, whatever I say is what you have to obey. That is African men for you. So that particular transcript is common among the responses from the women. This finding highlights the vulnerable position of migrant women and the experience that a number of African migrant women face in Western countries that they migrate to. This experience presents a number of health implications. Number one, keeping quiet or silent with their experience of constant abuse presents a number of emotional and psychological health risks. Number two, experiencing constant threats of being sent back to Africa have the tendency of presenting these women at risk of anxiety and pathological fears. So what does this mean is that health providers in their screening for domestic violence need to probe further when caring for African women who will not be upfront about their experience of intimate partner violence. I've actually provided the link to the completed and published paper on this study, and I really encourage you to follow the link and look at the completed paper. That is it for me for this week. And as I said earlier, next week we will look into greater details into the second theme, reluctance to seek help, when we meet again. My name again is Dr. Olayide Ogunshiji of the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Western Sydney, Sydney, Australia. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for being there this week. And I cannot wait till next week when we meet again on this program focused on African women's health. And until then, it's bye for now. Thank you.